Can I ask something? Have you ever woken up in the morning and first thought that comes to your mind is, I don't want to go to work anymore? Well, not because something bad happened, not because you had a terrible day yesterday, just this quiet feeling of not wanting to do it anymore, you know? And then almost immediately, another thought will follow. What would happen if I don't work? How would I survive? What would I do instead? That back and forth of questioning in your head and wanting to stop, but being scared of what stopping means. So, if you've ever felt that way, then this conversation and this video is for you. I'm uploading this video on Christmas Day. It's not planned, but I am celebrating Christmas alone, and I just wanted to be clear that this isn't me trying to be negative or sad during this very special holiday. If anything, it's actually the opposite. If you hear some noise, it's actually my neighbors. They are having some fun during this Christmas Eve. And yeah, I have tried filming and uploading this video several times in the past, but for some reason, it just didn't feel right. Something always felt off, but for some reason today feels perfect. I'm not sure why, but maybe because Christmas can feel quiet for some of us, and maybe because it's a day when we slow down, we reflect, and sit with thoughts we usually push away. So I wanted to use this day to turn something heavy into something honest, for myself and maybe for someone else who is spending today quietly. So, just a small introduction about myself. My name is Abby. I am 40 years old. I started working around 18 or 19. I wear many hats early on. I work in different roles back in the Philippines for about 7 years. I became a service crew, a sales clerk, a Starbucks barista, and a call center agent. And I am currently working overseas. So I'm currently an expat, and I have been an expat for the past 13, 14 years. Different environments, different responsibilities, just doing what I needed to do to keep going. So when I talk about feeling tired of working, it's not something new or sudden, or I'm not just saying that to complain. Work has been a constant part of my life for more than 2 decades. So lately, I've noticed something. I have been binge watching a lot of videos on YouTube about quitting jobs. People are sharing their stories, their fears, their relief. And honestly, I was actually surprised. I mean, in a good way. I'm surprised to see how many people are feeling exactly the same way. Some of them plan it carefully, some of them didn't, some just jump off the boat. And while part of me really understand that urge, that I just can't do this anymore kind of feeling, I also know myself. I still want a solid backup plan, nothing really grand or something really impressive, just enough to keep me safe and, comfortable and independent after I quit. I don't really want to do it impulsively and then end up needing to ask other people for help because of a decision I didn't really think through. Being an employee is already hard, especially if you're doing it for the last 2 decades. For the most part, the lifestyle is the number one concern that I'm having. You are somehow stuck in this very unhealthy cycle. There's very less sleep because, of course, of long hours of work or rotating schedules. I work on shifts, so I don't have a fixed schedule. I have to work for 10 to 12 hours majority of the times. But in my 13 years of living abroad, I have also experienced working for 14 hours and I thought it was the end of the world, you know. You're not eating healthy. By the end of the day, you are already physically tired and convenience always wins. There's also commuting or driving if you own a car. I don't. You also get stuck in traffic. But the long hours on the road, it's like losing time you can never get back. And if you work in the service or customer service industry, you carry emotional labor too, which means there is office politics, unfair management, decisions you don't always agree with but have to accept because you don't have any choice. You also have to deal with unreasonable customers. You are expected to be polite, patient, professional at all times, even though when you're already exhausted, even when your personal life is heavy. And let's not forget about toxic colleagues, stressful workloads, that constant pressure to perform. And over time, it adds up. It doesn't have to be in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, wearing you down kind of way. And for me, this is where the guilt starts because I know that despite everything, my job and the many jobs I've had before have given me a lot. They paid my bills, they helped me sustain my lifestyle, they allowed me to send money back home, put food on my table, save some money. They gave me the chance to travel, to buy things that I need, and even some of the things that I just want but doesn't need. So when I think about quitting, a part of me feels incredibly ungrateful. Like, how can I even think this way? But at the same time, my body and my mind seem to be pushing back. It's like they're saying, yes, this helped you survive, but we are tired now. And holding both of those feelings, gratitudes, and exhaustion is where the guilt lives. If you're listening to this and you feel the same way, you don't really have to quit right away. You're allowed to plan, you're allowed to think, you're allowed to take it slow. And wanting to quit doesn't mean you are ungrateful, it doesn't mean you are failing. Sometimes it just means that you are becoming more aware. And if quitting isn't possible for you right now, maybe the first step isn't action. Maybe it's calming your nervous system from the guilt of wanting to quit, or letting go of the shame, or accepting that this feeling exists. You can think of it as growth, as clarity, as listening to yourself for the first time in a long while. You don't owe anyone immediate answers. In fact, you don't really have to explain yourself. You just owe yourself some honesty. So, thank you so much for sitting and for listening to me. And that I hope this video felt like the kind of quiet and calm conversation that you needed today. And if you feel like sharing, whether you're tired of your job as well, or thinking of quitting, or just questioning things because you are as confused as I am right now, like you wanted to quit, but you cannot because you feel guilty, or maybe you wanted to quit, but you cannot because there's so many things that you need to take care of. You have a family to feed, or kids to send to school, to take care of sick parents and all that. Whatever reason it may be, know that those are valid and no one is rushing you. I would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share it on the comment section down below. And just keep in mind that you're not alone in feeling this way. I am with you. We are on the same boat. And for sure, there's a lot of people like us. Again, you don't really have to figure everything out today. Thank you for being here. Merry Christmas.